ain't been getting high. Well, maybe a little, baby, I don't wanna lie. I know when you text me, girl, I don't always reply. Well, you're not an angel either, you can't even fly. I know this, you think that you know shit. All this shade that's coming at me, I wonder who throws it. They can't see the vision, boy, they must be out of focus. That's a real hot album, homie, I wonder who wrote it. Oh shit, okay, pray them niggas go away. Oh, we sell the clowns around, it look like circus show. This is not the album either, these are just the throwaways. This shit's still so cold when it drop, it's gonna be a motherfucking snow day. Hey, boy, it's good and he knows it. He don't say it, he shows it. I'm just like DeRozan. If I shoot it, it goes in. I'm in Cali just coasting. Get him so wet, then he coasters. I got a selfie with Oprah. I just ain't never posted. And I'm in my happy place posted. I ain't frowned since 06. I ain't cried since 01. My bad like Six Flags and your house is no fun. You can come back to mine, though. You're pretty cute, but it's fine, though. We going on a high note. I spy with my little eye. A girly I can get, cause she don't get too many likes. A curly-headed cutie I could turn into my wife. Wait, that means forever, ever, hold up, never mind. Oh, I spy with my little eye. A girly I can get, cause she don't get too many likes. A curly-headed cutie I could turn into my wife. Wait, that means forever, ever, hold up, never mind. Oh, I spy with my little eye. I spy with my little eye. Oh, I spy with my little eyes. I spy with my little eye. Oh, I spy with my little eye. A girly I can get, cause she don't get too many likes. A curly-headed cutie I could turn into my wife. Wait, that means forever, ever, hold up, never mind. Oh, I spy with my little eye. A girly I can get, cause she don't get too many likes. A curly-headed cutie I could turn into my wife. Wait, that means forever, ever, hold up, never mind. Oh, I spy with my little eye. I spy with my little eye. Oh, I spy with my little eye. I spy with my little eye. Oh, I spy with my little eye. I spy with my little eye. Oh, I spy with my little eye. I spy with my little eye. Oh,
I would put myself right beside you. So let me ask, would you like that? Would you like that? And I don't mind if you say this love is the last time. So now I'll ask, do you like that? Do you like that? No! Something's getting in the way. Something's just about to break. I will try to find my place in the diary of James. So tell me how it should be. Try to find out what makes you tick as I lie down, sore and sick. Do you like that? Do you like that? There's a fine line between love and hate, and I don't mind. Just let me say that I like that. I like that. Something's getting in the way. Something's just about to break. I will try to find my place in the diary of Jane. As I burn another page, as I look the other way, I still try to find my place in the diary of Jane. So tell me how it should be. Desperate, I will crawl, waiting for so long. No love, there's no love. Die for anyone. What have I become? Something's getting in the way. Something's just about to break. I will try to find my place in the diary of Jane. As I burn another page, as I look the other way, I still try to find my place in the diary of Jane. Something's getting in the way. Something's just about to break. I will try to find my place in the diary of Jane. As I burn another page, as I look the other way, I still I'll try to find my place in the diary of Jane.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is another episode of Nerdy Live in the Morning. With you, as always, is the morning mixmaster, Nerdy John. Today, guys, we are, oh boy, it's gonna be a fun video because it's a nerd-related topic, and we get to make fun of a terrible grifter. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this gentleman. He goes by the name of Synthetic Man. He's often the topic for places like EFAP. If you guys don't know what EFAP is, it's a live podcast run by Mahler. He does, a lot of reviews. Anyway, Synthetic Man, he is, most of you might know him for making that Tears of the Kingdom Zelda video, where he talks about how, like, Link is being cucked, by Ganon. It's a lovely, lovely video. One of his best, in my opinion. Highly recommend it, actually. But yeah, so he made a video, actually a series of videos on the new Fallout Amazon series. Now, everyone's been talking about the show for a couple weeks now. Talking about, does it confuse lore, whether or not retcons, but for the most part, other than the weird lore changes, it seems like everyone enjoys the show for the most part. Not Synthetic Man. Oh no, sir. No, no, no. And, well, I don't want to spoil it just in case anyone's hasn't seen his review of it yet. By the way, obviously, he's talking about the show, so there are going to be spoilers about the show in this. So obviously, you all have been warned. If you guys want to still watch the show, go ahead and click off. No hard feelings there. But let's continue, shall we? Let's see Synthetic Man's reasonings for why this show sucks.
Much anticipated Fallout TV adaptation has finally released. And who am I kidding? We all knew this would be bad. Is anyone surprised? I mean, a single person. I made a video just reacting to the first trailer and knew this would be an absolute butchering. And why is that? Well, not just because it's Amazon, and we all know from...
Oh yeah, Amazon, they haven't done somewhat decent shows, like the first 2 seasons of The Boys, Invincible. There's a lot of there's a couple Common Writer shows exclusive to Amazon that are pretty decent. Yeah, totally. Amazon totally cannot make decent programs. Alright.
Rings of Power and various other shows they made, that they really don't care about the source material of any series, franchise.
Okay, first off, we have to understand that, Amazon kind of just licenses out the show. The team who made Rings of Power and the team who made the Fallout TV show are entirely separate teams. Right? It's just, obviously, you have every right to be worried about the adaptation of something, especially when it comes to video games, because, I mean, it's changed within the last couple of years. But video game properties that are turned into live-action TV shows or movies still have a stigma attached to them. But as you'll see, this guy's fear is completely irrational.
No matter how beloved. I mean, if they didn't care about Lord of the Rings, they sure as hell were not going to care about Fallout. But not just that, we know Bethesda doesn't care about Fallout, at least the lore, the canon.
What is it? Now, interesting discussion how realistic things are in an alternate universe, post-apocalyptic time. I assume this is at the head, one of the key figures over at Bethesda. Other than Todd Howard, I admittedly don't know any of the names of the people in charge of that company.
Anything that they weren't directly involved with, and honestly...
By the way, look at the likes and dislikes here. 13K, 14K. Oof, oof.
In some cases, even some of their older games, they don't care about continuity in the least bit. Now, for the sake of maintaining relevancy, I'm only going to review the first episode in this video, and I'll review the whole season next week. Every single episode dropped at the same time, so on the one hand, that's totally a good thing, because this will be gone and forgotten in no time.
I hate to tell you this, Synthetic Man. I hate to tell you this, but this show is, it's not being forgotten anytime soon. People really like the Ghoul, as a character. And for what I've been able to see of the show, I watched the first couple of episodes, and I've seen a lot of the edits on stuff like TikTok. It's kind of decent, honestly.
Time flat, because I don't think anyone who's a real fan of Fallout is going to consider this canon, especially because of all of the retcons, inconsistencies. It's obvious the showrunners didn't give a single shit about the Fallout universe, yet Todd Howard said this is canon. I fucking hate Todd Howard at this point. I don't care if he's not directly involved with any of Bethesda's projects and he's basically just a glorified...
How can you hate Todd Howard, man? Listen, okay, Todd Howard, it just works. I hate Todd Howard. Todd Howard's what ruined the company. I hate you. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Salesman, the face of the company, doesn't matter. He's still taking the fucking blame. So before I start spoiling everything in the intro, we might as well just get into the breakdown. So episode 1 begins in 2077, right before the bombs drop. We see Walton Goggins playing one of the main characters, the Ghoul. Yes, they literally call him the Ghoul when there are...
Well, yeah, because he doesn't want anyone to know his name. Yeah, and plus too, it kind of gives him like a menacing aura of sorts. Like no one knows his name. He just goes by the Ghoul. Or can I join? Or wait a bit. We're gonna get into this for a few before we let people in.
There are thousands of ghouls at minimum in the Fallout universe. He is the Ghoul. But as of right now, he is Cooper Howard, a Marine veteran who is famous for something. I don't think they explained it in this scene, but they imply he played some kind of cowboy character. I don't know if it's for commercials or military propaganda. And now he just does birthday parties for alimony payments. And I find this even more funny because his kid is mixed race. So his black wife...
His kid's mixed race. He has a black wife. You see where he's going, chat? Do you see where it's going yet? Let me play the clip for you again. Let's play the clip again, shall we? Let's play that bad boy again.
More funny because his kid is mixed race. So his black wife divorced him, and now he plays fucking birthday parties. How?
His black wife. His mixed race kid. Then I don't know. This is the I think that's the taddest bit racist. just a little hint of racism there. I don't know about you guys. I get a little racist vibe from that. But wait, folks, it gets worse.
How blackpilling is that? And at the risk of getting a shit ton of dislikes from normies, just like my review of the first...
From normies? Oh, you mean like perfectly sane people? I thought like the whole thing with like your group was that like you support the normies, not like the woke agenda. The woke agenda attacks normies. I thought that was the deal. Now, but well, hang on. I think we're getting hung up on the wrong thing here. Let's see what he has to say.
First episode of The Last of Us. I find this even more funny because if you know anything about marriage statistics, you would know that white male, black female actually has the lowest divorce rates.
Actually, if you look at statistics, white man and black woman divorce rates are low. Would you look at that? See, guys, I'm not racist. I'm just plain statistics. Excuse-moi. Excuse-moi. So you see, the show's promoting propaganda. What does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with Fallout? What does marriage statistics have to do with Fallout? Can't a character just be like, question, what no, exactly, question, what does the race divorce statistics have to do with a fictional TV show based off a video game? I don't know. I'm wondering that same thing, Pigeon.
So in a way, you could almost say this is anti-propaganda, but I still think it's promoting race mixing.
What? It's promoting race mixing. Excuse me. Um, Synthetic man, is that something you're against? Are you against are you against a white man and a black woman being together? Are you against a black man and a white woman being together? Um, what about Latinas? Do Latinas fall in this too? Or are white guys not allowed to date their the big booty Latinas? Listen, guys, okay. Listen to what he's trying to say right now. He's trying to take away our big booty Latinas. I can't have that. Alright, one in the chats if you stand with me, okay? We gotta protect the big booty Latinas from Synthetic Man here. I just imagine, like, Synthetic Man goes on a date, right? And he's like, what's your ancestry chart? I need to know if there's any percentage of black in you. And, like, if there's, like, 2% African, he's like, I'm sorry. I can't race mix with you. Oh my god. Oh. Listen, okay.
It's 14 pages!
Yeah, 14 pages of statistics. As a mixed race person, I will now be changing my name to the propaganda for what my existence promotes. You pigeon salad. I mean, come on now. You've fallen down the woke propaganda pipeline with your existence, buddy. Oh my god. That's, oh, you see why I'm covering him today, chat. And listen, okay, I'm actually, when it comes to humor, some would say I'm more of an, like, I lean more to edgy conservative type humor, right? But this is just blatantly racist, man. This isn't just like, ha ha, chuckle, chuckle. This is, no, I genuinely believe this. Here are the statistics to prove why. And it's, just a little yikes, you know? It's, my birth was just the woke pipeline, exactly.
As basically every show on television does. You know, for as woke as video games are these days, TV and movies blow the gaming industry out of the water.
Why? Because they they let two people from different races be in a relationship? And by the way, it's not like they draw attention to the fact that he, like, was in a relationship with a black woman and that his kid's mixed. It's just a thing in the show. That's all it is. It's just a thing. Fun fact, Mexicans and white couples have the least chance to divorce than any other mixed-race relationship, specifically Mexican males and white females. Why, Aztec going dark? I hope you're, I hope you're not a mini synthetic man here. Also, hi, Gaming Witch. This is, oh boy, Gaming Witch, you came in at a fun time.
Basically, every streaming show I've tried to watch with my mother has had some form of propaganda in it, and usually multiple types, whether it's race-related, gender-related, LGBT.
Hold up. Oh, man. I tried watching Fallout with my mother, but then there was race mixing. What? What is this? I'm Mexican synthetic man, okay. You're Mexican synthetic man, okay. What? He watches with his mama? I'm just imagining he's watching TV with his mom, right? And then there's like a black guy on screen. He's like, "Mother, avert your eyes. There's a black man on screen." And then, like, as soon as there's like a white guy dating an Asian girl, he's got to be like, "Cover your eyes. Their existence is abomination." By the way, YouTube, for the sake of my channel not being taken down, I'm joking. I'm making fun of the racist. Will that help me, YouTube? I hope it does.
BT related, it's usually all of the above. But anyway, getting back to Fallout. The rich guy who's hosting the birthday party calls Walton Goggins a communist because he won't stick his thumb up in reference to the supposed safe distance from a nuclear bomb, implying that Walton Goggins opposes the war with China. Nothing really comes of this. This whole scene is obviously supposed to give you an idea what the retro future culture of 2077 looks like, but if a modern Marxist rewrote history and added diversity everywhere. Now it's
Oh, there's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Synthetic Man. As you can see here, he's a prime example of the white race. Just a prime example. Yeah, he's just hang on. Let's enhance the image a bit, you know. Hang on. 1 second. We're doing a meme here, guys. We're doing a memes. Hang on. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Isn't that the prime example of the white race right there? Is that mongoloid? Yes, and let me tell you
It's
about
14
why,
pages!
Let me tell you about why, statistically speaking, a white man should never date a black woman. Fun fact, there was a black woman named Mayday in the James Bond film, A View to a Kill. James Bond bangs her, and she helps him. How woke in 1985. I know, right? James Bond becoming woke like that? Wow. Fallout TV show is good. Synthetic Man is just milking this, with racism and a hint of misogyny. No, yeah, he looks like Slug. Oh God. No, I think that's an insult to Slug in all seriousness. That's an insult to Slug.
It's not like in the original Fallout games, all the characters were white, but there's something.
All the characters were white. Wait. All the characters were white. Pulls up the dark-skinned looking dude.
Something uncanny about this whole thing. We'll put it at that. I'm not gonna make a huge deal over it. So anyway, shortly after the first nuke drops on LA, the rich guy punches his black friend, not letting him in their fallout shelter, and Walton Goggins rides off on a horse with his daughter on the back, as if you could fucking outrun a nuke. They literally just told us in the previous scene the safe distance is the size of...
Well, he probably knows it's a futile effort, but he's like he's trying to save his daughter, like, even if he, like... She's just doing what he thinks is right to do. That's all. Just all.
a thumb. I think that explosion might be a little bit bigger than that. I know they did this to have a really dramatic scene, but it just comes across incredibly idiotic.
Well, I mean, either way, I guess from your point of view, he's just gonna die, so you might as well just try. Right?
Especially since 3 more nukes drop, one which is within a mile of the house. Whatever. So anyway, moving on, we fast forward to the present, and I want to point out, this takes place after all of the games. And more importantly, 15 years after Fallout New Vegas. You're gonna want to remember that, considering this takes place on the West Coast. So now we meet our true protagonist, Lucy, a resident of Vault 33, which I guess was another control vault. Either that or it's some kind of multi-vault experiment. As they fail to adequately explain in the show, Vault 31, 32, and 33 are all directly connected to each other. And so Lucy is applying for an arranged marriage with one of the other vaults. They show off all of her various skills. And of course, she just so happens to be good at basically everything. Definitely not a Mary Sue, guys.
Well, here's the thing, right? If you're raised in a vault, especially a vault that has, like, particular sets of stuff that, like, they let their vault residents do, You can't explore the outside world, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to, you know, pick up on what you can do in the vault. And guess what? If you keep doing something, eventually you get good at it. So I don't know what to tell you there, buddy. It's like, you know, in a Fallout video game, for example, you can pick up, you can start your game off, and then you can randomly pick up a laser gun, and then know how to use it, right? Oh no, a woman, true, Shanry, true. Women scare synthetic men, except his mama.
And of course, she gets approved. We find out her father is the overseer. Her younger brother is this tiny, huge-nosed, cowardly, incompetent beta male. And also that Lucy fooled around with her cousin.
Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice, you know?
I'm not gonna pretend and say it wasn't weird when they mentioned that in the show. But realistically, there's not a whole lot of population in those vaults. Some family mixing's gonna be, it's gonna be, unfortunately an issue at one point. Is this guy related to Herman? Who knows? Oh my god, Synthetic Man doing a collab with Herman? That would be amazing. Todd Howard explained what happened in regards to the board that explained what happened to Shady Sands. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah. No one, like... I'm just saying, like, it could happen in a vault, realistically, especially if there's not a whole lot of diversity.
Who, despite being a tall, kind of more Chad-looking dude, is also a complete coward, worthless pussy. Get used to hearing that. And so the members of Vault 33 meet up with the members of Vault 32, and we find out her soon-to-be husband is actually a white guy and not ugly. Shocking.
Well, there was a running joke in the episode that they were going to, like, the guy that she was going to marry was going to be really ugly. So them showing that he's not ugly is, like, that's the payoff to the joke. Synthetic Man is, oh my god. Dreamcast guy and Herman Smith. Oh my god, that'd be, oh, you gotta give me that picture in my head, man. You gotta do that.
But don't worry, they ruined that pretty shortly. At the wedding, Lucy asks her new husband, Monty, what his sperm count is. You know, I think I'm actually starting to like this girl.
You don't talk to women that much, do you, Synthetic Man? I have a feeling you don't. She talks about sperm count. I like this girl already. It's like, oh, okay, buddy. Okay.
And even more based, as soon as they get back to her room, Monty strips naked and they just straight up have sex. So,
I mean, yeah, it's almost like they got married. Like, what do you want? That's what happens usually when you get married. You consummate the marriage. You know. I'm surprised he wasn't praising the show for promoting this type of propaganda he's into. Don't give him ideas, Pigeon.
So I guess one good thing came out of this show, but of course everything goes to
and they had a sex scene between two white people. That's my favorite thing. I bet you if the guy was black, he'd be like, this was disgusting. They were promoting mixed racing with this marriage.
Shit, as the big schnoz little brother soon discovers, one of the members of Vault 32 is dead and rotting. And it turns out raiders somehow got into Vault 32, killed everyone, and Lucy gets stabbed, but she manages to save herself in the most cliche Hollywood way possible by smashing a glass on his head and then like slicing his face. She heals herself with a stim pack and then heads into the armory and grabs a fucking trank gun. I guess all the real guns were already gone.
They literally show right there. They show you right there that everything is gone. What do you mean? I guess that's the only weapon she had. Yes, Synthetic Man. You're right. That was the only weapon. Synthetic Man, more like Pathetic Man. Got him. I'm shocked he isn't bringing up marriage statistics here. I know, right? Like, statistically speaking.
And she witnesses a bunch of her friends get horrifically murdered, men just getting the absolute shit beat out of them. The only competent males at all are the raiders, but her...
Yeah, because the raiders, you know, they live in the wasteland. You kind of have to toughen up if you're going to live in the wasteland. I know this might shock you. I know it's absolutely shocking. But, you know, in order to survive long enough in the wasteland, you might have to be skilled. Especially if you're doing raiding, literally the most dangerous thing you could do in the wasteland.
Her pregnant best friend, after getting stabbed in the eye with a fork, gets a hold of an SMG and starts mowing down raiders. Wow! My god, it's Wolfenstein 2 all over again. This is the cringiest shit ever, seeing pregnant women be badass. I fucking hate this propaganda. It is so transparent. Whatever, moving on.
I mean, I don't care, it's an action scene.
Lucy's husband turns out to still be alive and almost kills her, but her dad manages to save her, being the only competent male in the show, and Lucy gets to see how brutal he is, which I'm pretty sure is implying that he's been to the surface before. But all of the survivors manage to get captured anyway. We see that the Latina overseer is the real villain of the show. Yes, this middle-aged brown woman is supposed to be this mega badass evil raider we're supposed to be intimidated by. Modern media is such a joke. We're not even halfway through the episode and I already don't want to watch anymore, but fuck it, let's just get through this. Evil raider chick gives the overseer an ultimatum. Either choose his daughter Lucy or choose the rest of the residents of the vault. Obviously he chooses his daughter, but instead of killing all the others, the raiders just kidnap the dad and then just let the others run away as a bomb timer goes off. Oh, and raider bitch reveals that she knows Lucy's mom. Wow, what a mystery. I'm so intrigued. What the fuck was the point of this scene?
To set up the show. You see, Synthetic Man, usually what an episode 1 of a series does, especially like a drama sort of series like this one, is that episode 1 establishes what the main conflict's usually going to be. So, for example, the beginning scene with the character that will soon be the Ghoul, it sets up his life. And this episode talks about Lucy's setup right here. She's gonna have to rescue her dad. What else is she supposed to do? Just be immobile and die just because she's pregnant? No, yeah, Pigeon Sound, he would love it. Like, no, actually what's supposed to happen is the big strong man, the Giga Chat, is supposed to save her. Hello, Top Tomato, hope you're doing well. But no, yeah, Synthetic Man would just love it if it's like all the women just sat back and let the men do all the work.
Alright, now we get to meet our final main character, Maximus. And it's another pussy-ass black guy. You know, it's one thing that every single TV show, movie, and now...
Why does he always emphasize the fact that it's a black person? I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just saying, like, we get it. Especially with the fact that it's a video. we get it. There's a black person on screen. You don't need to emphasize the fact that it's a black person. This dude's like the reverse SJW, where it's like he has to see race everywhere, you know? Because that's what an SJW does. They see racism where there's no racism. Him is just like he wants to see the racism, you know?
Video game has a diverse cast, but do you have to have every black man be a fucking pussy in modern media? You know, as harsh as I was on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, at least Barrett is a cool character, okay? You can sell me on a diverse character. If they're cool, if they just act like a person, but they happen to have a different color of skin, you know, I know this is very stereotypical shit that basically everyone said by now, but it's true. It doesn't matter how many times it's said. It's accurate. And yeah, so he gets hazed by all the other Brotherhood of Steel initiates, and he gets saved by a trans man. I'm not joking.
By the way, they don't mention the fact that this character is trans. It's not like a big thing that they have to like stop the show and mention. Well, that came out of nowhere. Old Tom Tomato, you've missed it. You've missed a good chunk of the program so far. By the way, guys, if you want to call in, let me give a link to the Discord. I'll let people call in shortly, so that way they can give their base takes when it comes to Synthetic Man.
Dude, there's probably gonna be some coping and seething, but no, that is not a tomboy. That is not a masculine female. No, that is a woman who identifies as a man. You know it to be true.
Okay. And, like, dude, is it just like the character is just like a thing? Or is it just like they shove it down our throats? Because from what I've seen, the character is just.
And she's more of a man than Maximus is. This is fucking embarrassing. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. I have to get through this, guys. I can't take it anymore. Everything I love has been destroyed. Let's just fast forward through the rest of this episode. Okay, so. Another Pridwin shows up. Maybe it's the same Pridwin from Fallout 4. I don't know.
It is. It's the same one from Fallout 4.
Oh, they don't confirm or deny in this episode. We see some Brotherhood Knights in T60 power armor show up. And I don't know, it looks okay. I know some people are like, it looks like shitty cosplay. I think the costumes look okay. It's when there's CGI that it looks bad. In the next scene, Maximus and the girl boy sneak away and look at some power armor, and Maximus has a flashback to when he was saved by the Brotherhood of Steel. Then we see the initiates play some brick ball. Look, I know they're trying to be cute.
Yeah. It's weird. They're playing brick ball. Well, I hope you all have a great day today. Bye. Yeah, you've missed the best part where he brought up the race statistics for a TV show just because a white dude and a black woman were divorced in the show. You know, yeah, that was great. It was a great comedy right there. Fantastic comedy.
About like, oh, post-apocalypse, they don't understand how sports work, but really throwing.
Well, also, too, post-apocalypse, do you think they have rubber to use for, like, basketballs?
Bricks into a fucking square hoop? And we learn some of the initiates have been chosen to be squires. And, of course, Maximus doesn't get chosen, but the girl boy does. And so the next morning, as G.I. Jane puts on her boots, a trap placed inside her boot shreds her leg. And to no surprise, Maximus is blamed for this and taken away to be interrogated. Back at Vault 33, Lucy tries to get the council to send out a search party for her dad, but the fat black soy jack on the council is too chicken shit, as is the rest of them. And so Lucy teams up with Big Schnoz and Sweet Home Alabama to leave the vault themselves. Of course, her brother, being a massive pussy, won't go with her. Her cousin actually wants to, but she knows he's incredibly incompetent and also a coward, so she tranks him and leaves the vault by herself. Now, this is where the show jumps the shark. We find out that Vault 33 is located next to Venice Beach, in the heart of the Boneyard. Now, if you know anything about Fallout lore, you would know that
it gets explained later in the show. Again, probably, again, warning. He goes a line to spoilers about the TV show here, so like just giving you all a warning now, you know.
The NCR dominated this territory, brought civilization back to it. There is no way in hell that Vault 33 was not contacted over the course of 100 years. And of course, to address the elephant in the room, LA itself is a massive wasteland, like a featureless desert. What happened to the NCR? Well, at the time of me recording this, I was spoiled of future episodes. And apparently, Shady Sands got nuked 4 years before the events of Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, that's how you know the showrunners didn't do the research, and yet this show's canon. It's totally canon, guys, that the capital of the NCR got nuked before New Vegas. Yet it was never mentioned, and it's more than established that the NCR dominated California and brought civilization back. Fuck this show. Fuck Todd Howard.
Now, I understand being a little upset about that, like, because sorry, I was looking at something. I understand being upset about this. You know, retcons a little bit of the lore. If they're able to work with it, like, as long as it works. You know, I don't have much of an issue with it. Because from everything, okay, I'm gonna have to give you guys a spoiler. From what we see of the show, the events of New Vegas still happen. I think that it's more like, I think they're going more towards like Mr. House / Yes Man route. But, you know, we'll have to see season 2, you know.
Howard, fuck Amazon. Bethesda is so beyond dead to me, it's insane. Everyone who likes Fallout 4 gets exactly what they fucking deserve with this show. What blows my mind is there's people who actually thought Starfield was going to be good. And even though the NCR capital was nuked, that doesn't explain how the Boneyard turned into a giant desert wasteland. But it's as simple as the showrunners didn't care. This is not made for the fans. This is made for normies who have heard of Fallout. It's made for women who won't even watch the show.
It's made for women.
And most importantly, it's made as a humiliation ritual. They will destroy everything you love, and you will do nothing about it. At best, you'll vote with your wallet and hope things get better. Yeah, that's worked out so great for us in the last decade. But whatever, I'm not gonna Fed post, because I will legitimately get banned. Next scene, we get back to Maximus, and he cries like a little baby bitch as the scribe interrogates him, accusing him of something he didn't do, and he makes almost no effort to defend himself. Eventually, he works up the courage to speak and just says he would gladly give his life for the Brotherhood, and the scribe rewards him by promoting him to squire, taking the she-man's place. Then we get a scene where the she-man doesn't blame him because she knows he would never do it because, again, he's a little bitch boy who would never do anything wrong. What a great protagonist. And at his anointment ceremony, he gets a brand burned on the back of his neck by power armor, which is kind of cool, I guess. And now we get another massive retcon. Apparently, the Enclave is still around. Yup, even though we see the last of their...
Yeah, of course the Enclave's gonna be around. Pathetic man needs some milk. Yeah, he needs some... Oh my god. I'm gonna find
remnants in New Vegas, which are a bunch of fucking senile boomers. 15 years later, the Enclave is back with a vengeance. Maximus is tasked with finding one of their runaways who I guess is hanging with dog meat. And for the final scene of the episode, we wrap back around to Walton Goggins as we see a few mercenaries dig up his corpse. Oh God, here we go again. Pete Hines has been vindicated. For those of you who don't know, there is a unmarked quest in Fallout 4 where you find a ghoul child who's been locked in like a fridge or something. I can't even really remember. The child has been in there for 200 years with no food or water, and you reunite him with his parents who are also ghouls. It's quite possibly the dumbest quest in any RPG of all time, and rightfully, fans pointed out how stupid it was, how it's been established in the original games that ghouls do eat and drink, and I believe even in Fallout 3, they have to eat and drink. But no, now ghouls are just immortal zombies, and Pete Hines being a man.
Well, also, wait, hang on though. Hang on. The ghoul gets, as you can see in the shots there, it's IV. People systematically keep him alive, so that way, in case they need him for a job, they can just get him.
Massive Silly Billy on Twitter pointed out how nerds are all losers for caring about continuity.
No, he's saying he's not interested in having a discussion about, like, applying real-world stuff all the time to a post-apocalyptic game.
You're right. Why should I care about anything that happens in the story? I should just consume your product, you piece of shit. But now, over 8 years later, Bethesda still has a chip on their shoulder about that one, and has confirmed in this show that ghouls can be buried underground in a coffin for who knows how long, and be perfectly fine. And for seemingly no reason at all, Walton Goggins kills the 3 mercenaries. They weren't even hostile. They were offering to share a bounty with him, and he...
The ghoul's the bad guy. He's the evil karma character. He doesn't need them for the job. They would have just slowed him down. They would have split and they would have taken the profits. Of course, he's going to kill them. He is the evil karma character. This guy nitpicks so much. Well, that's...
kills them.
That's the only way
This
you
show
can
is
do the
fucking
video.
stupid. Okay, that was episode 1. It sucked dick. It ruined everything. Fallout's dead again. Honestly, Fallout's been dead to me since Fallout 4 released, and to even more fans after 76. So while yes, I did get kind of angry over certain things in this show, you know, sometimes I ham things up for the reviews. I honestly don't care that much.
I just no, you care. No one who doesn't care brings up like marriage statistics of like different races. You care to an unhealthy degree. And by the way, guys, if you want to call in, go right ahead. Oh, let me. Hi, Shanri. How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing good. What do you think? What do you think of Synthetic Man's awesome video?
Oh my god, I was not prepared for this.
No, you
I
aren't?
was not prepared. Nope. Well, where to start? I'm gonna be very clear on this. I have not seen the series yet, but I
Okay.
know Fallout and everything. But I will tell you this. Since he mentioned it in the video about, oh, women like this show, like that. Here's the thing. I have a best friend. I will call him Plank. Some of you maybe know him, some of you don't, but it's my best friend. He don't do internet shit and so. He's a lover to Fallout, the whole series and so.
Uh-huh.
So he called me and said, "Hey, do you know? Have you seen it? They posted up on your birthday. It's a Fallout series," and he have watched it and he loved it. So the question would be: is he a woman then? I mean, he
If
used to
likes
have
it?
long hair, but then...
No. You see, he'll talk about it in his second video.
yeah,
But he'd be
and
like, "Oh, all the normies and redditors who dislike my takes." So,
Yeah, that's the thing.
what do you think of him bringing up race statistics when it comes to marriage in
Oh
the
my
show?
god, I was not prepared when he showed the stick about the marriage and everything. I was like,
yeah,
what the fuck is this?
Why is that necessary?
I mean, what?
Mhm.
Is he going to compare? Okay, I'm going to compare two shows, by the way. And some of them going to say, oh, now I see. Because there are some good and bad of it. We all know about Velma, for example. It's a huge disaster. That I can say, that screams a lot of woke, and they are destroying it, yada, yada, yada. So
what screams woke?
Velma. Basically, the whole thing with
Oh
Scooby-Doo,
yeah,
the new
well
show.
that's oh my god, that's like every single joke in that show is about how woke they are and about how
Yes.
how
And
much they hate white people, right?
oh yeah. That's one thing. And I thought to
Mhm.
myself, well, I don't think you have seen other shit like that. But I'm gonna bring another show that, as a fan to a game, for example, Ark Survival Evolved, I was very keen of it. I knew they were working on the animation, been following it as well. And that's the thing. Some people are like, oh, it's not like the game. Yeah, of course, they have a new other story of it. So I can see with the Fallout here as well, it's another story, it's not canon. Who cares? It's still a show.
Supposedly it is canon. We'll have to see how future games like incorporate the show. What you can do is or like, I mean, until we get to that point, I mean, you can just kind of ignore the show if you really want to and just stick to the games.
Exactly. And I mean, I can't say too much of it. Okay, some people say, oh, it's too much female and so too. I'll be like, yeah, look at me, I'm a female.
Well, it's just like, he's just weird because like, oh, this show, I try to watch the show with my mother and it promotes mixed racing.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, I'm going to say it. If I sat and watched this with my mother, she will be more racist than him. It's like, ooh, I can sit with her. I'm sorry. But she's old. And the thing is, that's the one thing at least. But I would like to bring up with Slug. Remember I said that he looked like Slug. But then again, I will give him the defense on this too.
Supposedly, Synthetic Man's been homeschooled. He was homeschooled his entire life. Which
and
I think
he showed with the doggy.
Explains
and
a lot of his explains a lot of his beliefs. I think.
Oh yeah. The thing is, if he met Slug, and here's the thing, he will think, oh,
okay,
he's a white dude.
Let's stick to the show. Let's stick to the show. Okay.
I know. But still, basically, we need to save all Latino asses, okay?
Yeah.
The good booties.
Yeah. This guy's like, you can't marry a Latina woman.
Yeah, but in the way, I started to get lost with this because here's the thing. I started to follow it, or with the whole video you showed, I was like, I start to lose it because he's telling more, and I notice his speak. He's getting more excited. He's getting more losing it and everything.
He gets excited when he gets to talk about the statistics, man.
Yeah, and not only that, it started to lose a thread there. I was like, dude, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but what the hell? What just happened?
Nothing he talked like majority of what he talks about, like related to the show at all. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for calling in, Shanry.
The same. You take it easy, okay?
All right.
You, everyone.
Bye. Guys, go check out Shanry. She does a lot of art commissions. Actually, let me find Shanry's Twitter. Go go show Shanry some love because she's a very talented artist who's done artwork for this show before. She's done a couple of thumbnails for me off and on. And go show her some love. Now, with that out of the way, guys, we're actually going to... Oh, let's see. Okay, guys, so we're going to do a poll. We're gonna do a poll. Second synthetic video. And while you guys handle the poll there, we're going to be taking an intermissionary break. for a sponsor of sorts, and the sponsorship is you guys, our fantastic members of the channel. If you guys want to continue showing love to the channel, you can join for just 99 cents. That's right, guys. You can become a member of the channel for just 99 cents. If you don't like what you're getting, you can just cancel it. You get exclusive members-only content, you get videos early, members-only streams, and that such. Anyway, here is the music for the intermission, and I will see you guys when the song ends.
Here we go again, your shoulder's frozen over. Time for me to play my least favorite game of all time. I'm trying to guess what I did wrong. She keeps a folder of all the stupid shit I've said and did in every single I never told, I swear to God I'm faithful. Think it's getting old, girl, why are you so hateful? You should let this rest in peace, 'cause you could get the best of me. I wanna be the one you're leaning on, but you would rather think that you got cheated on. I'm stuck in the passenger seat, and the way you drive just is a runaway street. 'Cause you're a baddie, but you're stuck in your delusions. Only got a fatty from the jumping to conclusions.
Take me back in time to you when I get coffee on your couch. Meant the world there, but it don't mean one goddamn thing to me right now. 'Cause you say I've been acting shady, and I think you just might be crazy. No, you hate it when I call you that, but I'm not gonna lie. I hate it here, could use a drink or 15. Being sincere, girl, you might fucking kill me. You should let this rest in peace, 'cause you could get the best of me. I wanna be the one you're leaning on, but you would rather think that you got cheated on. I'm stuck in the passenger seat, and the way you drive just is a one-way street. 'Cause you're ready, but you're stuck in your delusions. Only got a fatty from the jumping to conclusions.
She never skips leg day.
It's driving me insane.
Leg day. It's driving me insane. You should let this rest in peace, 'cause
You could get the best of me.
I wanna be the one you're leaning on, but you would rather think that you got cheated on. I'm stuck in the passenger seat, and the way you drive just is a one-way street. 'Cause you're a baddie, but you're stuck in your delusions. Only got a fatty from the jumping to conclusions. She never skips leg day. It's driving me insane. She never skips leg day. It's driving me insane.
Alright, guys. With that intermission out of the way, let's check out Synthetic Man's second video on Fallout. Now, compared to the 20-minute video, this is about an hour long. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure you get a snack of choice. Perhaps maybe get a second coffee if you haven't already. And yeah, we shall continue on with this lovely series of videos.
As promised, I'm back to review the rest of Season 1 of the critically acclaimed Fallout TV show. I'm sure the question on some people's minds is, well, does it get better? Believe it or not, kind of, a little bit. in the sense that you can turn your brain off, and if you don't care about the Fallout franchise, which is the case for most of the people who like this show, then you could just consume this mediocre slop and not really think much of it. This is about as superficial as an adaptation can possibly be. It has a bunch of visual references, and that's really all it takes to get normies on board with your show. You can absolutely take a massive dump on the lore, especially of the original games in New Vegas. That's fine, because most Fallout fans, if you can even call them fans, have only played Fallout 4, and so they don't care about the universe.
You can't call them fans if they've only played one game. Dude's such a such a little gatekeeper, man. So gay. Gatekeeper. Why does it matter if someone's only played one game? Like, are they a Fallout fan? Are they still a Fallout fan if they've only played 1 and 2 and not the modern games? Are they still a fan if they've only played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas? Because like the games I've been able to play, I've played a little bit of Fallout 1, a little bit of Fallout 2, not to completion. And I've played Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas. I haven't gotten to 76 or 3. Am I still a fan at that point, Synthetic Man? Or no? Do I not meet the criteria of fan for you? Because for some reason you seem to be just a little whiny, little homeschooled gatekeeper. For some reason, you want to dictate who can and cannot watch the show. Hey Sliggins, how you doing?
They don't care about the characters. They don't even care about the theme. They don't even know what the theme is. People think it's about capitalism. The games literally tell
Ooh, who thinks it's about capitalism?
you in the intro cutscene and the epilogue, war never changes. And yet somehow now it's about capitalism bad. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. As some of you may have noticed, my last video got absolutely brigaded, more than maybe I've ever seen before, by Redditors, Discord groomers, outrage merchants on Twitter.
Dude, you literally like bring up marriage statistics in your video to be like, see, this is not possible for a black man. I'm sorry, a white man and a black woman to get divorced. It's not possible because of these marriage statistics. So, like, you weren't even like coy with like the racism. You were just blatantly racist. Like, bro. Oh, he's saying that, like, Discord, like, the only reason why people hate his show is because they're Redditors and Discord moderators.
The list goes on. That was probably the least organic my comment section has ever looked, ever. But if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you might be thinking, well, that's nothing too out of the ordinary. That's happened a bunch of times to this channel. Well, even reading these comments, I knew something fishy was going on. The first thing I noticed is that there were a lot of suspiciously similar comments copy-pasted in the reply chains of all the top comments in my video. And they would only ever address the same few points, whether it's the show breaking the lore, or Shady Sands falling, and then the nuke happening after it fell, and we'll address that later in this video.
You're not gonna bring up the fact that, like, people were just bringing up the your weird sort of race thing. No one, you're not gonna bring up how people were talking about that, because if we look, actually, let me bring up his that video again. If we bring up his first video, there's a lot of people being like, excuse-moi.
I'm just.
Yeah, here we have right here. Dude really said, I watched it with my mommy and we didn't like the race mixing. Why? And like oh my god, here, why is it being shoved in every piece of media then? Like, I watched one episode, misunderstood, the pivotal thumbs up reference and assumed that Fallout 31, 32, and 33 will never be explained. few minutes, you've already revealed that you yourself are a clown. Yeah. My guy cannot fathom the fact that people organically disagree with him. Yeah. Oh my god, here's a good comment right here. Alcohol won't affect my child. The child. Did he say promoting race mixing? What, in the Jim Crow South? No, yeah, this is... Dude, that's your comment section, buddy. Listen, okay, you want to be racist in your video? You know, that's fine. I think one should be allowed to say what they want to say in their video. But people are allowed to dog and clown on you. You know, if you're gonna be racist in a video. And this isn't like, oh, edgy humor racist. This is just like, no, like he's actually bringing up statistics.
Video. But none of those comments addressed anything I actually said in the video itself. I think the only comments talking about the video itself were people triggered about my comments regarding interracial couples, which is funny because I didn't even give my opinion on interracial couples.
And why you totally did. Then why did you make a big point about how the show is promoting mixed race couples? Like, how else is someone supposed to take that? There's only one way to take that when someone like brings up the fact that they're promoting propaganda that promotes mixed race couples. Like, bro, it's easy to assume what your opinion is at that point. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I just brought up statistics and pointed out how it's propaganda that they appear in all modern media. But I guess
I don't have an issue with them. I just brought up that they're propaganda. What? You know, parents, you know, they try to get little kids to eat vegetables, but it's really propaganda for a big vegetable, you know? Like, what is the point here, my guy? What is the point?
with Redditors being proud cuckolds, literally, they feel the need to defend Tyrone's honor as he plows their wife every night.
Right.
The funniest one to me is there would always be a comment claiming this show doesn't break the lore. Not explaining how it doesn't, just saying that it doesn't. You know, all the nitpicks aside, I would say the biggest retcon of all is Shady Sands teleporting 200 miles across California into the heart of LA. The Boneyard doesn't even exist in this show. No, Shady Sands is now in LA, which was not the case in Fallout 1. But to claim that it doesn't break the lore when you don't even know what the lore is, that's a fucking bot, dude. The second thing I noticed is that video has way more comments than almost any video in the entire history of my channel.
Good for you. You got engagement. What's your point? Is that they're all like robots spamming you? Is that it?
At the time of recording this, the video is just under 200,000 views and has 14,000 comments. For comparison, my Starfield video, which has 680,000, has 12,000 comments. And I'm sure some delusional person is going to say, well, it's just people arguing with each other. But these are my videos we're talking about. People are debating each other.
But these are my videos. These are my videos, chat.
In the comments, basically every time I give a negative take on a modern game. No, these are bots, actual AI chat bots that are being rolled out.
I mean, yeah, you're probably going to get, I mean, I get a few AI, like, bots every now and then, right? I imagine, like, a video with a lot of views, it's going to be worse. But, yeah, you gave, like, an absolute, like, rage bait take on a series. People are going to argue in your chat. Especially when you bring up statistics about, like, race. Like, what do you expect to happen? Nerdy John, he expects Bethesda to keep the original game's continuity. I'm still waiting on an explanation on why a white dude having sex with a black woman, having a baby together, and being separated is propaganda. That just sounds like somebody's life, yeah. Well, it's propaganda. Amazon's promoting. I love how you try to be coy. Like, I didn't even say my opinion on mixed race. I was just talking about how it was propaganda. But how is it propaganda? Like, what's propaganda about it? Do they want people to be... Is the propaganda that they want people to be divorced? That they want people to have mixed race relationships? Like, what's the propaganda there?
Out into YouTube comment sections. And so, suspecting these were bots, I wrote a pinned comment. And of course I was inflammatory, but this is me we're talking about, so that's besides the point. But in the comment, I said, if you do not reply to one of these 3 questions posted, I will block you from this channel. And the whole point of that was to prove that you are not an AI chatbot. And what do you think happened? Well over 50 comments did not address any of the 3 questions in the post. And yes, some of these were just retarded Zoomers or...
Oh god, this whole section right here is just him being like, guys, I'm actually like a pretty cool guy. Listen, it's these bots that don't like my opinion. It's those Reddit and Discord moderators. They don't like me, guys. I'm cool. I'm Synthetic Man. I watch TV shows with my mommy.
Or millennial Redditors who are trying to throw a gotcha in. But no, there were quite a few that are just straight up fucking chatbot responses that don't address anything in the post. My story has been corroborated by V, not the board, but the Romanian who's Sargon's buddy, you might remember from back in the day. He also confirmed he was debating with bots on Twitter. You can check out the Archcast video reviewing the show. Their comments are full of bots. One thing I absolutely can't blame on bots, however, is the sheer number of people claiming I didn't pay attention to the first episode because I got a bunch of plot points wrong.
Yeah. If you get plot points wrong in a show and your whole thing is... If you get plot points wrong in a show, and your whole point of your video is to talk about the show, then it shows that you didn't pay attention to it. He sounds like a boomer. Child support, it's a propaganda about child support, okay. Answer these 3 little riddles, yeah.
Single point I got wrong is because I only watched the first episode, which I stated in the last video. Yes, the show has this thing called plot twists. Did you want me to read a Cliff's Notes of every episode plot before I made the review? Are people not allowed to review just the first?
No, it's not that you didn't review the entire series beforehand. Is that there's like, why are they doing this? Why is this being done? And then it's the fact that, like, for example, the armory scene where the main character gets a tranquilizer gun. You're like, I guess there's no weapons left. The show clearly shows that there were no weapons left. Like, what do you mean? You know?
First episode of a show? Look, I know a lot of the noticers in my audience are not the least bit shocked by this and probably don't really care that much, but this is fucking huge. AstroTurfing has gotten completely out of control at this point. I've seen plenty of paid marketers on other websites, especially on Reddit and 4chan, but if now YouTube comments are just gonna be flooded with bots, there's gonna be no real discussion anymore. It'll be so easy to create the illusion of a majority opinion. And speaking of which, there were many bot comments that basically said something along the lines of, how does it feel to be in the minority opinion? If 99.9% of people think 2 + 2 = 5, does that mean they're right? No, it doesn't, you fucking idiots. Call of Duty sells like 20 million copies a year, and we all know it's trash. I don't care if everyone likes the Fallout show, it's still garbage. So yeah, sorry if that was a little long, but I had to get this out of the way first, just so that my viewers know that there's a very good chance you'll be debating with either bots or Redditors in bad faith who...
How about just don't debate people in YouTube comment sections? Like, have you guys ever thought about that? Just don't debate people in YouTube comment sections. I know that sounds crazy. I guess you're a bot now, John. Please repeat the question. Please repeat the question. Sorry, I didn't quite understand that. But yeah, let's check out the rest of this guy's review.
Who just hate me because I have controversial political opinions. There's nothing a Redditor hates.
Listen, you're allowed to have your political opinions, synthetic man. But people are also allowed to, you know, make fun of you for those political opinions.
More than people who can think for themselves. Alright, since I have to cover 7 episodes in one video, I'm going to heavily condense the plot synopsis for each episode and give my thoughts on the major details. I don't really have time to nitpick everything, or this video will be over an hour long, and I'm not going to make this over an hour long, I promise you. So feel free to point out other things you hated about the show. I'm sure there'll be plenty I don't hit in this video. Without further ado, here's the rest of Fallout Season 1. Starting off with episode 2, we have easily the worst episode of the show. It starts off where we see an Enclave research facility, I guess, and the one not evil Enclave scientist who spares a German Shepherd from incineration and takes it as his own. For some reason that is never explained, by the way, he gets access to this extremely important artifact that is the MacGuffin that drives the entire plot of the show. And in fact, after this scene, the Enclave never shows up again in the show. Long story short, he has to escape from the facility. An auto turret shoots at him and misses every fucking shot as he's moving at 2 miles an hour. Look at how bad this looks. Just remember that people actually like this show every time you see shit like this. In the next scene, we see Lucy explore the desert wasteland of California, and the Enclave scientist finds her at night conveniently and tries to explain to her that the wasteland is an inhospitable nightmare where the creatures there have adapted to become more lethal and she needs to adapt in kind. This is one of many scenes where it shows Lucy is incredibly naive about the state of the world and she needs to become hardened to survive here. Guess what? She never does. Next scene, we're back with Maximus, and we soon learn that the knight that he's serving under is a pathetic weakling asshole and probably also racist. Yep.
He's not racist. He's just an elitist who hates everyone. That's the knight's character. He's not a racist. Everyone, give me your credit card number and expiration date. I'm not a bot. Yeah. The extreme unchecked racism from this guy should be studied. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling very propaganda-like right now. Yeah. The most bot thing you could do is delete somebody in YouTube comments with that being said, Slime Beast is a bot. Oh my god. I mean, probably.
For some reason, the genius showrunners and Bethesda by extension thought it was a good idea to make the Brotherhood of Steel evil, arguably the most marketable part of the Fallout universe.
Guys, I don't know, actually, and oh my god, this dude claims to be like such a big fan of like the games before Bethesda got a hold of them. They make it very clear that the Brotherhood of Steel, besides Fallout 3, are not virtuous people. They're not. They're the good guys in Fallout 1 and 2 by convenience, the fact that there's a bigger threat out there. They don't even, like, the Brotherhood doesn't even want to actively, like, protect the wasteland. Really, they just want to harbor their technology. and make sure no one else has that technology. That's like their main goal. That's it. In Fallout 3, they changed it to where like that chapter of the Brotherhood wanted to like be the good guys. So you can argue it's a chapter by chapter basis. Fallout 4, again, they were the good guys by comparison. They were very like still very xenophobic in Fallout 4. But yeah, they were never really the outright good guys. They're actively hiding like rats in New Vegas. Oh my god. But no, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He really doesn't.
They made incredibly unlikable in this show. On the one hand, it did subvert my expectations completely. On the other, it just feels like yet another way to shit on the Fallout universe. And before some people strawman me, I'm not saying the Brotherhood of Steel should be like Fallout 3 where they're all good guy knights or whatever. I'm completely fine with the Brotherhood being xenophobic isolationists who preserve technology. I think that's great.
Yeah, you think that's great, buddy? But no, but okay. So why do you have a problem with them being hinted towards being evil then? Brotherhood was always like they are in the show. The show does a great job in that. The show depicted them perfectly. He's mad that there's a there was a trans man. No, yeah, Minda, absolutely true. He got into it his last review.
Unfortunately, they never do that in this show. No, instead, Titus is a mega pussy. He gets taken out by a fucking Yao Guai, a guy in T-60 power armor, taken out by a bear. And because he was an asshole, Maximus decides not to save him and then steals his power armor and pretends to be him. This is one of many moments where Maximus is borderline evil in this show.
Fun fact, did you know that so Lucy is supposed to be the karmic, like the good karma character. The ghoul is meant to be the evil karma character, and then Maximus is the neutral karma. He's not too evil, he's not too good. He's in it for himself for the most part. So, yeah, he's not going to be doing always the morally correct thing. Why is that an issue?
But I guess it's okay, because the guy was a racist.
It's not okay that he's doing it. He's just he's in it for himself.
And he looks white. I do want to point out, he's not actually technically white.
Folks, let's replay that clip one more time, shall we?
Borderline evil in this show. But I guess it's okay, because the guy was a racist, and he looks white. I do want to point out, he's not actually technically white. But I don't want to go into that. But
what is he then? Well, what is he? What is he, synthetic man? Tell me, buddy, what is he? Oh, well, if you look at the actor's IMDb page, you know, look into him a bit, you'll find out that he's Jewish. You see, he's technically not white. He's Jewish. Yeah, and so apparently, according to Synthetic Man, a Jewish person can't play just like a regular white person. Sorry, Adam Sandler, you can't be cast in white roles anymore. Yep, exactly. I'm playing the Brotherhood playthrough. There's an old lady who thinks that she's a synthetic. You can outright execute her. Dance will love the action too. Yeah. Oh, Minna, chill, Minna, chill. I know you're kidding, but I don't think YouTube's gonna know that you're kidding. But no, yeah, this dude's just like Also, too, they don't hint at him being a racist. He's just an asshole. He's just an asshole. It's not that he's racist. Racism in the Fallout universe isn't directed towards people. It's directed towards mutants like ghouls and super mutants and any other type of mutated, irradiated creature that resembles humans.
But of course, the question is, how the hell did Titus become a knight in the first place if you earn the power armor through acts of bravery? He was a complete pussy. But no, they don't explain it. And speaking of not explaining it, Maximus doesn't explain what happened to Titus. No, he just pretends that he died, and now he pretends to be Titus for almost the rest of the entire show. And there's no consequences for this, by the way. At the end, somehow the Brotherhood conveniently forgets that he told them that he died and Titus lived. Oh, and this is not the only plot hole in this show. In the next scene, we're back to Lucy, and we get a scene straight out of Borderlands where some idiot is living out in the middle of nowhere with no resources, somehow surviving, and he drinks all of Lucy's water. Haha, so funny, she should stop trusting people, but she keeps doing it. Eventually, she heads over to the town of Philly that's actually located in a forest.
Oh yeah, by the way, this video originally got taken down because he had nudity. He had a nude mod installed in this game. You can kinda tell from this. But yeah, it's not a plot hole, dummy. Yeah. YouTube, I'm kidding. Don't sacrifice me to the devil. Yeah. Don't get Sympathetic Man started on the people he considers to be small. He considers to be small hats. Oh my god, yeah. It's a plot hole, 'cause I say it's a plot hole.
Forest. I gotta say, this is one of the few things I kinda liked about the show. There's a settlement that isn't out in the middle of a wasteland with no resources, like Megaton. And yes, there absolutely would be forests. Not only has it been well over 200 years, which is more than enough time for the radiation to be gone, but also it's not like every inch of the country was hit with nukes. So, this actually makes a lot of sense. I kinda like this. Now, something I really don't like is that Lucy comes across this shop called Ma's Rarities, and this old woman here explains to us that vault dwellers represent rich people and surface dwellers represent poor people. Again, this once again proves fans of the show haven't actually played the fucking games. Either that or they just conveniently ignore obvious propaganda right in their
We'll address this point. I'll let him finish.
fucking face. No, Vault Dwellers represent a time capsule of the 50s retro future culture. That's why they're all so naive and friendly and neighborly, and they have to learn to survive in this inhospitable environment where everything's trying to kill you. Never at any point in any of the games is it implied that Vault Dwellers are rich people. The only vaults that maybe come close to that are the control vaults, and yes, it's set up that Vault 33 is a control vault, but it's not in reality. We'll get to that plot twist when it...
So, well, tell me this. Let's picture a scenario here, right? You live in the Fallout world. The world as you know it gets bombed. Complete wasteland, right? And then, like, you have to live in the hardships of this reality, right? And then you hear about these vaults. These vaults where people are able to escape, and not only did they get to escape and not have to deal with the radiation, but guess what? Their kids, their grandkids, and so on and so forth, don't have to worry about any future radiation at all. They don't have to worry about the struggle. They don't have to worry about food. And keep in mind, yes, the majority of the vaults are some sort of experiment where the majority or a good portion of the vaults died. But people, the outsiders, don't know that. all they know is these people got to escape, and they never had to struggle. So yeah, they're gonna look down on vault dwellers when they see them. It's only natural to happen. When you read terminals, they are journals. They basically suggest things they don't outright tell you. I live with rich people because why would that matter to the vault? The terminal suggests that they had good lives before the fallout. Usually, that would pay well. Yeah, no, because you had to be on a list to go into Vault-Tec. You had to be part of a list. I mean, like the opening of Fallout 4 shows us this. It was, hey, they didn't, funny enough, they didn't let the Vault-Tec guy in because he wasn't on the list. And usually, I mean, obviously for the sake of experiments, they chose random people for those. But like for like the ones that were like actually intended for people to like live, yeah, there's a lot of high society types.
When it comes, the vast majority of vaults had horrific science experiments take place in them. I wouldn't exactly call that a haven for the rich.
But again, how are normal wastelanders supposed to know that? Not everyone knows about like Vault-Tec's experiments in the wasteland. They're just worried about surviving.
So of course, the lady doesn't help her, but conveniently the Enclave scientist caught up with her, and he reveals that he knows all about Vault 33, and of course it turns out that he's the guy that she's looking for to find a way to get to her father. Of course, the ghoul shows up, and we get half of a pretty cool action scene, where we get to see Walton Goggins blow away a bunch of mercs, and actually, yeah, it's pretty cool. He's got some kind of shotgun firing, I guess, armor-piercing sabot rounds. And no, I'm not going to nitpick that. It's Fallout. Obviously, the guns aren't realistic, and Bethesda has proven time and time again
the dude can't just enjoy an action scene. He just can't.
I know nothing about guns, but it looks pretty cool, I'll say that. One thing that does kind of bother me about this scene is that for some reason, ghouls are now basically immortal zombies. If you don't shoot them in the head, they don't die. That is a pretty big retcon, and don't try.
hey, Fallout, my fellow Fallout enjoyers out there. You know, when someone's a high level, doesn't it usually take when someone's a high level, like an enemy's a high level, right? Doesn't it take a couple shots to kill them? I believe it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so shockingly, Synthetic Man. Okay, if we're going by game logic here, okay, so like the ghoul right here. Let's say he's level 15 and the mercs here are like level 5. He can't, cause that implies the show isn't 100% bad. Oh, hell yeah. If you weren't a scientist or something, or a soldier sometimes, they'd let you in because they wanted to use you, but I've seen them talking like homeless people off the streets for the vaults. Yeah. Yeah, oftentimes they used like random people for the experiments, but if it was like a vault intended to survive, then yeah, I imagine they were a bit picky on who they chose.
Try to tell me it isn't one, because it's never been established that you have to shoot them in the head. Even if you don't think gameplay is canon, which I think is just absurd, but we're not going to get into that. This is clearly a retcon. Also, in the chaos, the ghoul stabs Dogmeat, and yes, I'll be calling the dog Dogmeat because Walton Goggins himself calls the dog Dogmeat near the end of the show, so might as well be. But don't worry, the dog doesn't die. Now this is where the episode goes to shit again. Lucy gives this grand speech, which is pretty cringe, shoots the ghoul with a tranq dart. We get an admittedly pretty good line.
Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
And then Maximus shows up to save the day, and they fucking turned power armor into Iron Man armor. It looks so stupid. And if you think this looks bad, just watch this, guys. come on, that's something straight out of a Bollywood.
Well, also, too, Maximus hasn't, like, he's just gotten the armor. He hasn't earned it. He hasn't been trained in it. I mean, I remember specifically in games prior to Fallout 4, you need to have training specifically to wear the armor. So, yeah, if someone's untrained in the armor, it's going to be pretty easy to, like, maneuver them in a way. Synthetic man is speedrunning racism, yeah. Yes, it does. A very high level can shrug off bullets like a sponge. The animal hybrid part was crazy in the show. The show's, you know what, I'm gonna say it, the show's not that bad. I think it's a decent show. It definitely could have been worse.
Would film. Not to mention, Maximus is an idiot. Why doesn't he have a gun? He had a gun in a previous scene. It didn't break. In the midst of this really shitty Marvel movie fight, the old lady grinds this metal boot onto the Enclave dude's leg, which just feels like straight shock value because it doesn't even save him, by the way. And then the ghoul shows up in the room, gives Dogmeat a stim pack, and now all of a sudden they're buddies. And of course he uses Dogmeat to track down the Enclave guy. The episode ends back in the middle of the desert again. The Enclave dude is starting to bleed out, and so he tells Lucy to chop off his head because the thing they need is in his head. Again, this is done purely for shock value and is idiocy. The thing in his neck does not need to be in his head to work, so they carry around a fucking rotting head for the entire season. Nobody thinks to dig the chip out of his neck. Dude, they turn Fallout into Borderlands. You're gonna see that more and more.
I'm sorry, guys. What's, like, Fallout known for? Like, the VATS kills where, like, you can see someone's head explode? Fallout has always been a gory series. Like that's the highlight of the combat right there. It's like you're chopping someone's arm off, or again, head explosion. Like shooting someone into giblets when you fire a mini nuke at them. Sounds like Synthetic Man is about to cry for a tantrum about power armor, yeah. Synthetic Man is a very interesting guy.
More throughout this show. This is straight up fucking Borderlands cringe, unfunny garbage. And that's episode 2. I give it a 3 out of 10. The only reason it isn't even lower than that is because Walton Goggins is pretty entertaining as the ghoul, and honestly, he only gets better from here. Everything else about this episode was awful. I feel like if you have any standards for television at all, you would have stopped watching this show after this episode. It was that bad. Now on to episode 3. It begins with a flashback before the war, as we see more of the life of Cooper Howard before he became the ghoul. It turns out he was in fact an actor for westerns, and his wife is an executive at Vault Tech. It's good to see, even in the alternate future of the Fallout universe, we still have diversity hires in the highest position of power.
Again, they don't make it a point to mention that his wife is black. It's just the character is a Vault-Tec executive who's the wife of the ghoul, and she just so happens to be black. That's it. Again, he is the opposite of a SJW, where they have to see racism wherever they go. Interesting guy, that's one way to say Synthetic Man's. Yeah, special, yeah.
Back in the present, we see that the ghoul has come across the corpse of the Enclave scientist, and we get yet another huge retcon. Ghouls now have to take a special serum to avoid going feral. In the original game, the reason why ghouls were hated, or at least were outcast from society, is because they were ticking time bombs. They could go feral at any moment. I can't remember if it's ever quite confirmed, but it's definitely suspected that extended exposure to radiation eventually rots their brain completely and they go feral. But no, now in the show, there's a special serum that they have to take periodically to avoid going feral.
this is how I've interpreted the serum. Because like no matter what, no matter like a period of time, right? They even state in the show that like what was it? He's been preventing becoming a feral for what, like 20, I want to say like either like 25 to 50 years in the show. They explain that the ghoul is he's been staving off this for a while. Literally in the fourth game, there's a magic serum you get from that family. Yeah. What I think the show is eventually going to lead up to is they're going to find a cure for ghoulification. I think that's what's going to happen. It seems like this drug is like a prototype where obviously they're still ghouls, but if they're in the midst of becoming feral, it staves it off long enough, right? Now, I don't think the show ever specifically states like how long in between like how long you have to wait in between to take it. I'm sure it varies depending on like the severity of the ghoul's like feral nature. But there's a complete like there's a totally like this you can do, oh my god. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can totally have it to where this makes sense in lore. He just wants to ignore it to say the show's bad.
I know there's going to be some idiot that's going to say that this is not a retcon, but there were plenty of ghouls that survived over 200 years. What is it that happened in the past 15 after New Vegas that ghouls now all of a sudden have to take a serum? No, this is a fucking retcon. After a pointless scene with Lucy, we're back to Maximus, and this is the scene I mentioned last episode where he lies to the Brotherhood.
Okay, maybe that's why he was being experimented on. Well, we don't know what he went through being from the grave that wasn't basically tortured. Yeah. There's a lot of different directions they can do with this that can make sense in lore.
Pretending to be Titus and says that Maximus died. Again, there's no consequences for this. It never comes up again. After a borderline pointless scene where he has to sell one of his teeth to afford repairing a part, a bunch of raiders try to steal his power armor, and he gets his ass beat, again, because he lost his gun off screen. He does manage to beat up most of them, including crushing one of their heads with the power armor, and then the Brotherhood of Steel arrives, giving him a new squire. And of course, it's one of the guys who beat him up in the first scene he shows up. And so Maximus, being one of our main protagonists, a hero we can all look up to, nearly crushes his fucking head!
Who said he was a hero? Who said Maximus was meant to be a hero? He's not a hero. Didn't Lorenzo's son went to the Mojave Desert after you do the good ending in the Cobalt quest? I'm guessing that's where the serum is from, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he was experimented on and stuff, like what JoJo said, and he's the only ghoul that uses the serum in the show. No, there are other ghouls who use it, because there's a ghoul who asked him for the serum.
Dude, I couldn't believe this. Is he supposed to be a villain? Man, you can tell these guys got beat up in high school and this is their revenge fantasy, because Maximus continues the cycle of bullying, doing exactly what Titus did to him. When we get back to Lucy, I'm now realizing I neglected to mention what she's actually doing. She's trying to deliver the head to the raider chick Moldaver, whose real identity is really stupid, but we'll get to that at the end. Anyway, she comes across a lake and is attacked by a gulper, which you may remember from the Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4. Now, they looked completely different in that. Now they're giant pink salamanders with fingers in their mouths for some reason. This makes him seem more like an FEV mutant. Why the hell would radiation make you grow human fingers in your mouth? Whatever. Anyway, it eats the head. Of course, the ghoul catches up with her and decides to use her as bait while he monologues about how ineffective torture is. This is probably the scene where I ended up liking this guy, because he's definitely a villain. I don't know if they were attempting to write.
So you like the ghoul for being a villain, but then you hate Maximus for not being a hero? Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Is it just because he's a Brotherhood of Steel and you want the Brotherhood of Steel to be like the good guys? This guy really needs to but again, if he doesn't nitpick the show, then you know what content does he have, I guess.
An anti-hero, but he's definitely not. He's a villain, but he's a good villain. Walton Goggins is a great actor, and I think they were trying to go for a New Vegas vibe with the cowboy thing, but to me, it honestly feels more like a character straight out of the New Vegas Bounties mods developed by...
Have you just been, like, ignoring his character? He's an actor who's known for playing a cowboy. In order to survive the wasteland, he adopted the cowboy persona. And that's just what happened. I don't know what else to tell you, Synthetic Man. You're a dummy.
Some Guy 2000, and those are all great if you haven't played them. Despite being some of the oldest mods for New Vegas, they're still probably the best. Back at Vault 33, we get our third concurrent plot throughout the season, the mystery behind this triple vault system. I gotta say, it was actually pretty intriguing. For a while, this was my favorite part of the show, and the reason I kept watching. Big Schnoz actually turns out to be a pretty good character. Unfortunately, they really ruin it at the end, so I'm not going to cover it episode by episode. We'll talk about the whole side plot when it wraps up at the end. After we get a scene dedicated to Maximus just abusing his bully, we get another subtle retcon. The bully implies that the Brotherhood of Steel is going to wipe out ghouls from existence. Did the writers confuse the Brotherhood with the Enclave? Killing ghouls has never been an objective of the Brotherhood. Where the hell did this come from? And
I mean, not directly. They're mostly a harbinger of technology. But they definitely kill ghouls when they can. You think you'd be the kind-hearted gentleman after being tricked by your wife to sell vaults to people who know will be experimented on, and your daughter is nuke blasted with you on your horse? Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, is that a heartwarming story? Big Schnoz. We know you want to say, yeah, we know what he wants to say. Mutation/experimentation, not radiation, Synthetic Man. Imagine the Brotherhood found out that there's a guy named Synthetic Man. Oh my god, they would wipe him out.
And don't even tell me he pulled this out his ass just because he's supposed to be a racist. Though, actually, knowing these writers, maybe that is exactly what they're implying. But anyway, back to the ghoul and Lucy. The Gulper eventually takes bite, nearly voring Lucy, but of course it gets away. And this is where another major plot hole happens. The ghoul says Gulpers digest slowly. He then makes a joke about side quests.
The Wasteland's got its own golden receiver.
Oh, what's that?
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
Ooh, wow.
It's a reference to the video games. Like, why do you hate that?
So meta. And then he leaves to go sell Lucy's organs. I'm not making this up. That is the sequence of events. I seriously have to ask at this point, if you're a real human and you like this show, did you get high before watching? Were you drinking? Did you get vaxxed 3 or 4 times? How the hell could you like this show? So back to Maximus and the Squire, we get an incredibly awkward scene where Maximus gets the Squire to explain why he bullied him. But obviously, since he's still pretending to be Titus, he does it by trying to get him to say something horrible about him, and this somehow leads him to explaining that the only reason he bullied Maximus is because he himself was bullied until he showed up, and so he just redirected the bullying to Maximus. And so it's supposed to be this big, like, oh, see, this guy's not so bad. And so then Maximus starts treating him better. Unfortunately, this goes in a really stupid direction later, but I actually kind of like this scene. It felt much more mature than the rest of this show, but it was handled somewhat poorly. Oh, and I know I said I wasn't going to bring up the Vault 33 subplot, but I do want to point out that a black guy who I guess is an engineer says that the water chip is broken and they never bring it up again. So that was just a completely pointless reference to Fallout 1, which is funny because if you've played Fallout 1, you know that this show completely shits all over the story with all of the retcons. You want me to name another big one? The Master, the villain of the original game who was turning people into super mutants, was finding those people from vaults, and his headquarters was located near the Boneyard. It would have been in spitting distance of Vault 33. You're telling me that he never found this vault that was out in the open? He never managed to get inside and mutate all those people into super mutants. Speaking of super mutants, there are none in this show.
Fun fact: there's a there's a reference to super mutants. My guess is they're saving super mutants for season 2. There's literally a what was it? There's a shot where you can see the corpse, the hand, like the hand of a super mutant corpse. So they exist in the show. They're just saving them for season 2.
West Coast canonically has intelligent super mutants, unless they all got killed by the Brotherhood of the Enclave or something. But no, they are never mentioned in this show. One of the most iconic things in the Fallout franchise isn't in the Fallout TV show. Okay, enough tangents, let's wrap up this episode. Eventually, Maximus catches up to the head. He saves his squire from being devoured alive, yanks out its guts, and now they have the head. And for the final scene, it cuts back to the ghoul and Lucy, and to just spit in my face in particular, and all the shills who fucking lied in my first review. The ghoul drinks water directly in front of Lucy. And you know what's funny? In a later episode, he eats food, too. Ghouls need water to survive. This has been established multiple times in the series, and it's now established in the show, and yet he was buried underground for years with no water or food.
Again, he had IV. He had IV. He had someone clearly checking on him, making sure that he was in a good state. Marcus from Fallout 2 and New Vegas might come back in season 2. Who knows? Why does he keep saying the words ironic parts of the franchise? He's trying to put out pieces of the puzzle together that don't fit. A black guy, who I guess is an engineer. Yeah.
Explain it, Shills. Explain it. And for the final scene of the episode, we're back in the past again, and we see that Cooper inspired the Vault Boy. Yes, even though the Vault Boy has blonde hair, no, it was Walton Goggins' character throwing up a thumbs up that inspired the Vault Boy. Wow, what a great addition to the Fallout lore. Alright, episode 3 gets a 4 out of 10. It was definitely better than the last one. I suppose if you turned off your brain completely and didn't care about the Fallout lore at all, it's kinda watchable, but it certainly isn't good by any metric. On to episode 4. This one is supposed to be all about Lucy losing her innocence and seeing how horrific the wasteland is. It starts off with the ghoul taking her to some other ghoul guy who's about to turn feral, and I'm just gonna call him Cooper for the rest of the show. The ghoul is such a stupid fucking name. Cooper shoots him before he goes feral and then starts eating him. He's not even feral, yet he'll fucking eat other ghouls.
Against the fact, man, are you aware of a perk called cannibalism in the show where you can eat human bodies, including ghoul bodies? In fact, too, you can eat ghouls as well. Try and put pieces of, oh yeah, I read that one. Yeah. Also too, I don't know if anyone, again, I don't know if anyone's seen the show yet, but the scene is actually very well done. Because the ghoul actually makes it sympathetic for him. He kind of does a what is that? What's that book called? Of Mice and Men? Yeah, yeah. He kind of gives him like, tell me about the rabbits, George. He like does that for him, where they talk about like food from the old world, you know, that they miss. And while he's happy, you know, right before he turns feral, he shoots him. So it's very clearly like a mercy killing. Plus, too, I mean, hey man, resources are resources. You're a ghoul, you know, you gotta eat what you gotta eat, man. He's probably never seen the good, the bad, the ugly. He's probably never seen that.
What the hell? But I guess I finally figured out why Zoomers like this show. He eats ass.
Come on, Volty. Ass jerky don't make itself.
In the next scene, we see Lucy has gotten so thirsty that she's willing to drink irradiated water. And conveniently, Cooper starts to turn feral because he ran out of serum, I guess. So
there's no I guess. It's literally in the scene where they got attacked by that creature that stole the head from them.
Lucy makes a run for it, but he catches her with his lasso, but then she ends up biting his finger off. And so to get even, he slices one of her fingers off, and she barely even reacts, dude. What is this terrible acting? And you guys say she's...
It's called adrenaline, buddy.
Not a Mary Sue. Oh, and once again, I want to briefly talk about Vault 33 because Sweet Home Alabama ends up hooking up with the blonde chick after her husband died, and she's pregnant with his child. And she ends up giving birth, and Alabama raises another man's child. Now I know why Redditors like this show. But
Synthetic Man's worst nightmare is a stepdad. That's Synthetic Man's like worst nightmare right there. Nerdy John, don't you enjoy a good piece? No, I don't know. Do you, Peepon? Do you? Cooper got good karma, then getting bad karma after eating the guy. Yeah, yeah. Cannibals actually apparently do like butt meat a lot, so it wasn't just a butt joke. Oh my god. Why does he keep saying Sweet Home Alabama? Because they say in the show that that guy hooked up with Lucy and their cousins. I guess Synthetic Man would rather have this dude hook up with his cousin than like be a stepdad, I guess. Synthetic Man's kryptonite is black women and black women and stepdads. So those are like his ultimate like nightmare fuel right there.
But before I start saying stuff that's gonna get me banned, let's get back to Lucy and Cooper. He ends up delivering her to a super duper mart that functions as a organ harvesting clinic. As soon as she gets inside, he passes out. I guess that's part of the process of becoming feral now. And she ends up meeting a Mr. Handy, and she acts like she's never seen one before. I mean, I can understand her vault not having any of them, but really? She knows about power armor. Whatever, we get another kind of stupid scene where the Mr. Handy sews a rotting finger that was just sitting in a drawer for who knows how long, not frozen, onto her hand, and it just works. Then the Mr. Handy rolls her out to the two owners of this legitimate business, and they're straight out of Idiocracy. There's no guards here, by the way, either. These guys own...
Fun fact, they mentioned in the show, the ghoul went to that organ place, and he shot up the place. Killed all the guards. And plus two, the organ place is protected territory, so if you mess with the organ place, the gang that protects the area is going to kill you. Hey, if you watch that whole interaction, the Sweet Home Alabama is interested in a little typical man, am I right? No, yeah. Synthetic Man looks like the byproduct of Sweet Home Alabama. I know, he does.
like more than a dozen slaves, yet they couldn't afford any raider guards or mercs or anything to that effect. Paradise Falls from Fallout 3 had to have at least 20 slavers in there who were fully armed and competent. But, you know, in the Fallout TV show, it's just two retards and their robot. Because, you know, no one would be smart enough to try and actually raid a place full of supplies. No. Especially not after the NCR collapsed. There definitely wouldn't be raiders trying to get supplies, no. Oh, and it gets even dumber. When the Mr. Handy takes her to the surgery room, it doesn't sedate her, and she just kicks its fucking arm? A 90-pound woman kicked a robot's arm and then just rolled off of the bed. Then she uses a...
What can I say? She must have like a high unarmed skill, you know? She put points into it, man. What do you want me to say?
defibrillator to shock the thing. Anyway, she rolls out the Mr. Handy to the two idiots. They make a joke about her holding a air conditioner hostage. While they don't draw their guns, because she's clearly no threat to them, she reveals that she filled its hose with a Braxo cleaner, which is basically just supposed to be bleach, but the show acts like it's hydrochloric acid. Either way, she gets them to release all of the slaves, including feral ghouls, which, why the hell do they have feral ghouls as slaves? Don't even try to tell me that ghoul organs are good for something. And obviously you can't use feral ghouls for any slave labor. This doesn't make any sense. Did anyone watching this show use their brain at any moment? Whatever, the ghouls and the idiots manage to take each other out, except for one woman who's barely holding it together. Of course, she ends up going feral, and Lucy has to pick up the 10mm pistol from Fallout. Make sure to get your replica in the Bethesda store. You know what's funny? There was a bot that actually tried to say...
Wait, so like, are they not supposed to use Fallout iconic weapons in the show? The Braxo cleaner is for all your cleaning needs. It's not bleach, it's all purpose. Yeah. Mr. Gamer, Peepaw, you should cover his Fallout review. No, yeah, Peepaw, well, I don't think video game nonsense is really Peepaw's cup of tea. You know, Peepaw just likes to chill, you know, he has a relaxing morning show. Yeah. But nah, yeah, this Midna knows more about Fallout than Synthetic Man. Listen, if Twilight Midna came out with a review of the Fallout TV show, I trust it more than Synthetic Man. John, he wants him to use Fallout 3 weapons. Ah, true, yeah. Synthetic Man, they're not they're not supposed to use Fallout weapons in a Fallout game. They should use their Halo gun, of course. That's what Synthetic Man wants.
This show was made with love because they made a replica 10mm pistol from Fallout 4. This isn't even the original design for the 10mm pistol. No, this is the Fallout 4 redesign. In fact, all of...
What? They used like the most recent design as an option? Probably because it was easier. It was just easier to get a hold of like the concept art for the newer design. Also, too, I don't know. I feel like it would be weird if because like obviously Fallout 4 made some slight design changes with stuff, right? Be weird for them to do something that's supposed to be like post Fallout 4, but then keep all the Fallout 3 and New Vegas designs.
All of the iconic Fallout weapons are the Fallout 4 designs. And look, I realize this is completely subjective and up to personal taste, but I just think the Fallout 4...
Wow, Synthetic Man never watched Mr. Rogers? Oh my god. Oh, Peepaw, you miss the best part, Peepaw. I learned how to use his imagination, did he? So sad. Sometimes just pretend and have some laughs. This guy needs some grass and ass. Grandpa, I mean, Peepaw. Listen, Grandpa Peepaw, let me tell you something. This dude when he found out that one of the main characters was married to a black woman and they had a mixed race kid, he went on a whole tangent about how he was watching the show of his mother and they were subjected to mixed race propaganda. And in this video, he tries to say that, oh, it wasn't us being racist. But then why do you bring that up? Why do you bring that up? Why do you bring up the fact that it's like why do you bring up the fact that it's mixed race? Why do you bring up marriage statistics to prove that the show's propaganda? It's so weird to do that.
Or gun designs are ugly. So as we just saw, Lucy, who's totally not a Mary Sue girl boss, single-handedly took out this organ harvesting operation.
She didn't single-handedly take it out. She leveraged what she could, and then the ghouls did most of the work for her. That's about it. I don't know. What do you want to do? Synthetic Man unironically said we was kings in WoW, talking about the Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom. The mixed race divorce chart was wild. Yeah, it was.
And then gives Cooper a vial of the ghoul serum to save him. After she leaves, Cooper heads inside and raids all of their supplies and watches one of his old cowboy movies. And I guess since he doesn't need the bounty from the Enclave guy's head anymore, he drops out of the plot for a while. And that's episode 4.
Well, yeah, he needs to recover because the dude was just about to become feral, so he needs time to recover.
Again, I'd probably have to give it another 4 out of 10. It was barely watchable.
Again, okay. So I think we understand the Synthetic Man's grift. You guys, we got Peepaw in callers. Let me drag him in. All right, Peepaw. So, tell me about marriage statistics.
Women outlive men so they can spend all their retirement money and live happily with their 20-year-old boy toy.
Oh, okay. We're talking about the woke propaganda that Synthetic Man has bravely called out.
You know what? I've never played any of the Fallout games.
Mm-hmm.
It was never anything that was on my radar. But I seen the hype that this show was getting, and the actor that plays the ghoul is like one of my top 5 actors. So anything he's in, I watch because
I can't name off the top of my head, but he's a phenomenal actor. He does a lot of voice acting work too. He does a great job in those.
Yeah. So anyway, so I watched this series, and coming into it completely, totally noob because I didn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I found
so you're one of the Redditor normies that Synthetic Man talks about.
Exactly. I'm as normie on this shit as you can get. I tell you what, I enjoyed it. Yeah, there were some things that were a little bit strange to me, you know? Like I didn't understand how, and I don't think he's quite got to it yet in his storytelling here, and I don't really want to spoil anything, but you know, when the knight, the fake knight or whatever dude,
Maximus,
Maximus and Lucy are rescued. I think it was like in next to the last episode or something like that by the other bunker people. Which I think was like the original bunker they set up that was all scientists, right? Or or no, well maybe. Anyway, they had some deformities, we both say. So that was a little bit strange to me how these bunkers. I don't know exactly what the deal is with the bunkers, and I'm sure if I played the game, I would have more backstory on it. But just for watching the show, right? That was a little bit, I don't know, trying to understand that whole dynamic and how The dude that they cut the head off, which is another really good actor. I like his work as well. He's been in several TV shows. I don't know about movies or anything like that, but TV shows and stuff. But overall, I think just coming in as a green person that doesn't know anything about, I found it enjoyable. I enjoyed the show. It's very campy, extremely campy, but that's okay too, right? I think.
Yeah, well, it's not meant to be like too serious, and like the whole like so like to explain like the more gory bits of the show, Fallout is it has like the VAT system, and you can target specific limbs of a enemy.
Okay.
So like what oftentimes a lot of like players will do is like obviously they'll aim at the head and then the head will explode and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So him complaining about the gore and then being a Fallout fan was really weird. Do you think Lucy was a Mary Sue at all? Do you feel like all of her skills were explained pretty well?
I think so I think her development as a person and within this show, I thought was pretty on par, because she came in to it, and I think it was best described with her first interaction with the head dude, where he's like, you really should go back to the bunker. You're not ready for this world, right? Because she's very naive. She's very green and wholesome and everything. But as time goes on, the world her eyes, the scales are removed from her eyes, I guess, as you would say, right? And she starts really maturing real fast and growing real fast, where when you get to the end of it and she sees what happens, I don't know. I don't know what necessarily is a Mary Sue, but I'll just say that her development and her growth was probably one of the biggest character, development in the entire series
Well,
that I saw was.
Yeah, well, plus too, like, and like they explain it pretty well that like she just doesn't like have like these skills. They show a training montage in the vault, which makes sense because like especially with like specifically designed vaults, they want people to have specific skills. And so like if you're spending all your time in an underground bunker, you're going to develop skills depending on what you have available to you.
Correct. And they had, and one of the things that they show like was every block has its hole, right? Or whatever, right? So, her brother was doing this, and they moved him because they couldn't find his niche, if you will, right? His block or hole, whatever. And to where ultimately he winds up in that other bunker, and who knows what's going to happen to him over there.
Right.
Because we're kind of left hanging on that. But no, I think that when you're in a captured society, kind of like which is what they are, they're a very sequestered society. You have your skills. You go and you do that, right? And that doesn't really contradict what goes on, I would say, here in our world presently, right? Everybody has their skill sets. It doesn't mean that, like, for example, I can very limited do some household repairs and things like that, right? But if it gets too much, that you got to call it an expert, right? Someone that does this stuff, right?
Right.
So I don't think that was really unrealistic at all. I don't understand these people that just. Is he just like I don't know anything about the dude. Is he like just a really big fan of the Fallout gaming series? And
yes and no.
Like,
he's
okay.
So like, how like bad like Jeremy from the Quartering gets with like the whole like anti-woke nonsense where it's like they themselves appear woke in the opposite direction. Sure. He's kind of like that. Let me play you a clip from. I know, guys, you have already seen this, but I want to show Peepaw this.
And I find this even more funny because his kid is mixed race. So his black wife divorced him, and now he plays fucking birthday parties. How black pilling is that? And at the risk of getting a shit ton of dislikes from normies, just like my review of the first episode of The Last of Us, I find this even more funny because if you know anything about marriage statistics, you would know that white male, black female actually has the lowest divorce rates. So in a way, you could almost say this is anti-propaganda, but I still think it's promoting race mixing as basically...
Now, what do you
what
take
the
from
fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean?
What do you take from that,
Jesus
Paul?
Christ.
When the guy brings up the fact that the guy married a white guy marries a black woman and they have a mixed race kid, and then he talks about how the show's promoting race mixing. Do you think he's not in favor of that? Is it safe to say that he an eyebrow should be raised?
I'll climb out on a limb here a little bit and say this guy sounds like he's kind of like he's a bigot. You know, I don't understand. And see, here's the thing too, right? If you watch the show, right? If you truly, really watch the show, what you'll see is the only reason why the dude had a career was because of his wife, because of the corporation she worked for, right? They were sponsoring, he wound up doing commercials for them. That's what kept him really in his, because he has kind of had faded past his early stardom, whatever, and they came in as, whatever. And you're kind of seeing, I don't know, it's kind of, they don't really position it that way, but I kind of got the feeling from like when you start watching it, they do what they call the time jumps, right? So when you see it, yeah, he's doing the birthday parties or whatever. But then when you go through it, then you see like, he's driving that real fancy sports cars. He's a real nice house. He's having the big dinner parties. He's a superstar or whatever, right? But all that was taken away from him because again, it was tied to his wife, right? His wife was the driving force. And I'll tell you something. And a lot of times, men achieve the power and they achieve the success that they have is because they have a good, strong woman behind them that gives them the confidence to say, yeah, you can go do this. You can go achieve this. You can get that job or you can't whatever. Right. And so,
yeah,
I don't know how old this guy is. But I'll just say that I don't think he doesn't have a lot of wisdom.
Well, he was homeschooled apparently. He's a homeschool, good old conservative Christian bumpkin, I guess. Yeah, it's just it's a weird tangent to go on. I feel like talking about a sci-fi post-nuclear show, and then like there just so happens to be a black character, and you gotta be like, well, if you look at the statistics here, like they're.
So let me ask you a question, Nerdy, because I was watching your show earlier a little bit. Stuff I've had work things popping off here and there, but do you think that he really believes when he says this whole race mixing and all that? Do you think he really believes all that nonsense, or is he just trying to grift the more right leaning conservative? The Jeremy, the Jeremy, fans, things like. Do you think he's trying to just pull a grift?
So
do you think he really believes that?
Initially, right? I would say no, right? But he goes really extra with it to like where not even Jeremy would go, right? So like you can say I would say it's like 80% grift. Like I would say it's like an 80-20 ratio there.
Yeah.
Where like I do think I do because it does seems like he genuinely believes in like some of the stuff he's saying. He claims that when he says the outrageous stuff, it's meant for like hyperbolic like humor. But like where's the humor in pointing out like racial marriage statistics?
Yeah, here's what I'll say is, like I said, I don't know this guy. I don't know any of his I don't know anything because they're like, the Mr. Game or whatever is like saying, no, I don't do this type of stuff. It's whatever. I think Nerdy's doing a wonderful job covering this type of stuff. I do find it interesting. I entertaining. I'll listen to it, whatever. But what I'll say is I hope this guy, this synthetic man, I understand, some of it because if he was raised in a more conservative family, and depending on where he was raised at as far as geographically within the United States, I assume that's from listening to his voice, he's somewhere here in the United States. I understand that because that's kind of a thing in more conservative, type things. I just hope that he travels. I hope he travels across and meets people and comes to the understanding and realization that we all bleed red and the color of our skin doesn't mean anything. So I hope he lives long enough and obtains that wisdom and knowledge, and looks back at this stuff and with profound regret and embarrassment, because it is embarrassing. He's embarrassing himself, and so I feel bad for the dude. I do. I mean, because he's obviously he's not the sharpest tack in the old box, as they say. But
yeah, well, this is how I
anyway.
advertised it to the audience. I said, listen, I tell him, listen, he's trying to take away the big booty Latinas from us. We can't be having that.
Let me tell you something. I've seen some big booty women from all walks of life. I don't think it's just, so let's not, but I do have to go and get back to work, but I just wanted, as I part out, I just wanted to send out a very today's a very special day, Nerdy. I don't know if you've been busy all day, so
I think I know what you're talking about. I have seen the messages, and I did message this person myself.
Yeah, it is my favorite little goblin's birthday today, and so I wanted to wish her a very, very special birthday, and I hope that she gets the nice little cupcake with the little sparkling, candle on top. But when you blow out, it just keeps relighting. And I hope she has a wonderful, wonderful day. So,
what do you think her favorite like cupcake flavor is? Do you think it's like a really odd one?
It's probably because they have that fish in a can that's like really nasty, and I can't pronounce it.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that's probably what she's a goblin after all, and so
Right.
I think that would be like a staple for goblin consumption, right? So, Anyway, but listen, I don't want to interrupt you more of your show. I don't want to derail it, whatever. You're doing a great job. Listen, man, you over 2K now. You're killing it, dude. You're killing it. And I'm so proud for you, man. And just keep up the good work, Nerdy.
Yeah, I see you're back on your grind with your morning shows, and also you're doing the movie reviews. Funny enough, we a chatter mentioned it earlier. You had done a review of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Whole trilogy, in fact, right?
Yes, because the director Leone that drove, he's the. I don't know so much if he was the quote Godfather or the founding father, but he is credited in those movie series is credited as being the origination of the spaghetti westerns. There was there's some. I enjoy the a fistful of dollars, a few dollars more, and The Good and Bad, the Ugly. It's a good little series of movies. But there's other spaghetti westerns that I actually like that are, and I kind of tease at one at the end of it. It's I have done a couple of movie reviews, and they've kind of been the odors, and people are like, can you do some more? Yeah, I know. I'm doing stuff from my childhood. I got to get in get to the.
Why haven't you done a review of the 2019 Pixar movie?
Oh, geez, yeah, right. I have to do things that I actually commit with or connect to, or whatever. So, but I've got one that I'm working on now, and it's been prompted because of the trailer that was just released for a sequel that is following it up. I'm not going to tell you more on that because there's been several trailers that were released here recently that can be considered as sequels.
Okay.
But I think it's anyway. I'm enjoying it. I'm writing the script out and stuff. So, Once Upon a Time in America, yeah, that's a good one. Once Upon a Time in America, that's a good Western as well.
I really need people's
so-
opinion on the new movie. Was it the Magical N-Word Society? I need your opinion on that.
Oh, yeah,
movie.
listen. Okay, so I'll be glad to comment on that. That movie, I think, if I remember right, looking at some of the box office results stuff, I think that movie really flopped.
Oh, it failed spectacularly, and
Yeah.
I don't know how much you use TikTok.
Not very much.
I have a lot of like movie TikToks recommended to me, and so
Yeah.
a black guy did a review of it, and he like was digging into how trash the movie was.
Yeah, yeah. there is a trope about the magical in word.
Hmm.
And it was used in old cinema and stuff to uh, as a thing. It was a thing. It was. And I really believe that the author and director of this movie was trying to make a comedy, right?
Hmm.
Um, it just missed. It missed miserably. Um, so I didn't watch it. Shocker. Now but I don't watch any movies anymore until they come out on streaming services. I just don't go to the theaters anymore. It just costs too much money, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably
um,
gonna see Late Night with the Devil, probably sometime next week,
yeah.
because that looks like an interesting movie.
Yeah, the one I'm really hyped about going actually to see in theaters that I probably will actually drag the wife with me because she doesn't do these type of movies.
Mhm.
Will probably Deadpool 3 or
Oh, that's gonna be really exciting
Deadpool
one.
Wolverine. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm looking
I'm
forward to that. Yeah,
I'm gonna see Terrifier 3 when that comes out.
don't know. I don't know anything about. Is that a horror movie?
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah. Yes, I haven't watched horror movies since I was probably, I'm going to say, high school, like,
Hmm.
because that was like when Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, those type of movies were. I watched those back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, and I'll be honest, it was because if you wanted guaranteed to see boobas and stuff, you had to go to the horror movies. Horror
Yeah.
movies guaranteed boobas and sex scenes, right? Because you'd have these young people would start having sex, and then the psychos would come out and kill them.
Right.
That was
because
just
it was
guaranteed.
a sin. It was a sin, people.
And the guy was about to get it in, and all of a sudden you hear.
There was a different type of
And you knew.
penetration going on.
Exactly. And you knew Jason was going to come in and give him a vasectomy. So,
Oh my God, British
um,
Runner makes a good point. If Alien came
What's
out
that?
today, Synthetic Man would have a stroke. Oh my God, so true. Why is this woman able to take down this alien?
Oh God, is he misogynist too? Holy crap!
Oh yeah, he's all the things, people.
Yeah, he checks all the little boxes, right?
Yeah, so you know that knight that gets killed by Maximus in the beginning of the show?
Well, he doesn't really get killed. He just sits there and lets him die. But yeah,
Yeah. But the point is, right? Like,
Yeah.
Synthetic Man tries to allude that they were making that character racist when he wasn't. It was just like he was just a general like jerk, right? And he started to say, "Well, you see, they try to make him racist by making him supposedly a white guy, but that guy's technically not white." And he's alluding to the fact that the actor is Jewish.
I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to respond to that. I just, you know what it is. You know what it is. Oatmeal for brains. That's
Oatmeal
what it
for
is. It's
brains.
oatmeal
Yeah,
for brains.
it's a
for
brain worms, as Leon.
It's the
should
brain.
say.
Exactly the brain. Speaking of Leon, and I don't want to derail your show, but did you see the tweet he put out? I think it was this morning. Did you see that?
No, hang on. Let me go on his page.
Dude, it is so cancerous, AIDS, riddled with syphilis, and it's bad.
Oh,
my
are you
God,
talking
it's
about
so bad.
the kick streamer clip right here?
Yeah, where he's going to pour milk on his mommy.
Excuse-moi. Okay, let's
Okay.
check this bad boy out. Hang on, let me volume boost this bad boy.
Come on, guys. You want to see him pour milk all over these 36 double G's? Let's do it.
It's at 300k. They're gonna do it.
Come on. You want to see my son?
And this is his mom?
Yeah, hang on. Listen to what she says, though.
He actually suckled on these. Now he's going to get to pour milk on them.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Let's get up there.
What?
Oh, fuck. It's gonna say we're doing it. It's gonna say we're doing it.
What is this? What?
I was like, holy. I know I'm derailing. I'm sorry. I apologize to the chat. I'm derailing. But this stuff is that not insane? That's insane, right?
Yeah, that's in the words of Tipster, that's a yikes from me, dog.
That's something. I don't know, man. But when the mama says, yeah, he sucked on these and now he's gonna get to pour milk on them, I was like, huh?
I hope to God that's not his real mom. I hope to God that's just like a paid actor that he hired or something.
Supposedly, if you look at because I looked at the screen, I read the text, everything. I wasn't just listening to the guy, but if you look at it, supposedly that was his very first kick stream.
No.
I kid you not. Go back and look at that, Nerdy, and look at the bottom left-hand corner, and it'll show there where you label the title.
Mom puts on sports bra. Mom cracks 3 eggs on my head. Mom slaps me across the face. Eats dog food. Mom pours. Oh my God. Bleh, bleh.
But if you look down there at the title of the actual stream, it says "My First Kick Stream." Now I don't know if he has like a following on other platforms or not. I don't even know who this cat is. I don't even know. But when I fired up the old interwebs this morning and was getting ready to start my work day and everything, and that was like I was scrolling through Twitter as I do, and that came across. I was like, Leon, it's 2 early in the morning. I haven't even had my cup of coffee yet. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why are you putting this out there?
I'm gonna need Jesus now.
Oh, good Lord. We're going to need something. Fifth of bourbon or something.
Yeah. Something to take the edge off Jesus. Anyway, guys, by the way, make sure you go subscribe to Peepaw. Not only are you getting the morning shows, which are a chilled, laid-back kind of deal, but you're also getting, again, the movie reviews, which are what, like bi-weekly, right? Like once
they are whenever I can get it done.
Okay. Well, but look at that. You're getting morning streams. You're getting movie reviews. Some great stuff over there on the Peepaw channel. Go check them out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And Nerdy, thanks for letting me call in. I appreciate the time and everything. And dude, you're like I said, you're killing it. And I'm just so tickled to death for you, man. I really
thank
am.
you, man.
So anyway, make sure you guys, if you come in and you're not subscribed, give it a little subscribe and smack that little thummy thing down there too, because that does things. That when you smack that little thummy thing down there, it actually tickles Nerdy's prostate and it gives him great joy. So smack the little thummy up thing there and give him prostate tickle. And
now every time you do the thumbs down, it tases my junk. So please don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, listen, thanks again, Nerdy, for letting me call in. Chat, you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I got to get back to work, and I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Shout out to people for calling in. And with that, guys, we're going to be ending the show. First, we got to thank the lovely members, of course. Thank you. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Seth again. Thank you for Pigeon Salad for being a Super Nerd 3, going further beyond with the support of the content. Now we gotta thank the Super Nerd 2s, the Ascended Nerds. We have the Gaming Witch, 1s, 2 Cents, Dracula Moon, Iron Duck, Trippy Savage, Squanchin, and I have loved the stars too fondly. And then we also have the Super Nerd 1s, which again, you can join for just 99 cents. And you have John Bond Zombie, Gigi Hearts, J1K, Twilight Minna, Zaylin, Corlisis, King TL, Panic Pun, K-Huck, Micken, McMuffin, Lady Nerd Artist, Spectre, Jessica Pizzle, Daniel J, Annie, Marble, D-Max, Mike the Bike, and P-Paw, or Riveter. Now, with that out of the way, guys, take care. Have a good rest of your day. And I have a good song that we can end out on. It's going to get copyright claimed, but we've already played a lot of copyright claimed music this time around. So where is it? Where is the song I want to do? I'm messing up the intro. I'm messing up the outro so badly right now, guys. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Where is it? Where is it? I'm not stopping this until I find it. Not stop until I find it. I saw it in the corner of my light. Here we go. Anyway, guys, take care. Have a good one. This is Nerdy John signing out.
Let's take a walk, 'cause we're not getting any sleep tonight. Down by the water where they're hanging up those strings of lights. Let's go off the script, scrap the final page. I don't know why we read them, man, they're all the same. Let tomorrow wait, let's take a little time. Don't worry about the daylight, just keep on talking line by line. 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. Close your eyes and keep on talking line by line, till we get to the other side. Close your eyes, we only talking. My head's not set for getting through another open night. Those questions I don't wanna deal with at the best of times. Let's go off the script, scrap the final page. I don't know why we bother, man, they're all the same. Let tomorrow wait, let's take a little time. Don't worry about the daylight, just keep on talking line by line. 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. Close your eyes and keep on talking line by line, till we get to the other side. Close your eyes, we only talking.